Hey everyone, welcome back to Sean Talks Wrestling. In today's video, I'll be ranking every single WrestleMania poster starting with WrestleMania 1 in 1985 all the way to WrestleMania 41 this year. I'll be ranking each WrestleMania poster by aesthetic, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Let's get into the ranking. Alright, starting off with this poster in 1985, we have WrestleMania 1 with Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. Really classic 1980s vibe going on with the red, white, and blue ropes. And that just vintage look with Hogan and Mr. T posing in front of the camera. It looks pretty nice. I like the logo of WrestleMania for this year. It's got the classic gold and white. And overall, it looks really nice. I'm going to put it in good for now. That might change later. But for now, I'm going to put it in good. Next up, we have WrestleMania 2. Really classic design. No wrestlers appearing on this poster. We just have the WrestleMania logo with the number 2 behind. I don't know. It looks all right. I prefer to have wrestlers on just for that look and that build towards the main event match or whichever match they're building for that show. I'm going to put it in average for now. Next up, we have WrestleMania 3, My Birth Year 1987. And we have Hogan and Andre the Giant. Really nice poses for both of them. Kind of giving that stare down. We get the classic logo again. Nice purple background. I like that. I think we'll also put that in good for now. That might change WrestleMania 1's good rating to a great, but I'll wait, see it out maybe till WrestleMania 15. Next up, WrestleMania 4, we get Hogan and Andre again. This one I like a little better than WrestleMania 3. I like that little boxed out graphic for both wrestlers. I like that they have the whole little phrase here at the bottom. Overall, this is really nice. I think I'm going to put this in great. All right, WrestleMania 5, and this might be a hot take. I don't know about you, but I really don't like this poster at all. This is when the Mega Powers explode, and I know they're going for an explosion graphic in the background. To me, it looks like a close-up of a Cheeto. Either that or Kraft Dinner Mac and Cheese. The whole Mega Powers explode kind of gives off that vibe, like explosion of flavor. I don't like this. I'm going to put it in bad for now. This might go in trash later. Not a big fan of it. Next up, we have WrestleMania 6. Hogan on the cover once again, this time with Ultimate Warrior. It's okay. It's nothing special. They got the electricity in the background, kind of like a thunderstorm, but then at the bottom it's a glacier. Doesn't really make sense. I'm not a big fan of this one either. I think it's better than WrestleMania 5, so I might put that in bad and then put WrestleMania 5 in trash. Just not a big fan at all. Then we have WrestleMania 7. We get Hogan again with Sergeant Slaughter. I really like this picture of the both of them in the same image at the same time. Love this match in general, and overall it's pretty nice design. I'm not so big on it compared to WrestleMania 1 and 3. So for that reason, I might put it in average for now. Yeah, I think that's a good place for it. Then we have WrestleMania 8. This has the first time ever we get to see 2 match build-ups with Hulk Hogan and Psycho Sid. And then we have Macho Man and Ric Flair. Macho Man and Ric Flair should have been the main event that night, but we got Hogan in it, so we got to put Hogan in the main event. Overall, a big fan of the aesthetic for this one. I like the bright colors. I like all 4 wrestlers featured here. I'm going to put this in good for now. All right, WrestleMania 9. I'm a little on the fence with this one. I like the wrestlers at the top being featured. I like the logo, but together it's kind of a bit messy for me. It's a little too much going on. I'm going to put this in average for now. I think that it's on the same level as WrestleMania 7 in terms of aesthetic and look. I think that's a good place for it. WrestleMania 10. Again, they go back to the poster where there's no wrestlers featured, but in this case, I think it makes sense. You get the WrestleMania logo with the giant X in the middle to represent that it's WrestleMania 10. And overall, I just like the color scheme. I like the logo. I think this is going to go for good. Not so many great right now. We only got 1 in great, got a couple in good, couple in average, 1 bad, 1 trash after 10. Overall, though, I think I like the way it looks so far. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below before I move on. Let me know what you think of the first 10. Next up, we got WrestleMania 11. Once again, no wrestlers featured. Nice little graphic in the background. We got WrestleMania logo, X1 for 11. I think this is pretty average, to be honest. I think they should have went back to having some wrestlers featured on that one. I like that they did it for 10 with no wrestlers, but let's move back to featuring some faces on there. Next up, WrestleMania 12. So we do have some wrestlers featured. It's kind of weird for me because they got like the separate images for each wrestler with their backgrounds, and they, instead of kind of fading them into the main image, we get the backgrounds for each one. Looks kind of cheaply made, and I'm really not a big fan of the logo with the WrestleMania. Not a big fan of this one. I'm going to stick it in bad. That might be a hot take. I know that there's a lot of people that like the WrestleMania 12 poster, but it's not for me. Then we're moving on to WrestleMania 13. Back to no wrestlers, but I kind of dig this. The number 13 instead of the Roman numerals. And we get that nice color scheme with the black and orange and the blue lettering. Overall, big fan of this one. So I'm going to put this in good. I think it's on par with WrestleMania 10. All right, moving on to WrestleMania 14. And this is one of those pay-per-views that I must have rented at least 100 times at my local video store. Just love this pay-per-view overall from start to finish. The main event was one of the best WrestleMania main events of all time. And as for the poster, I think the same thing. I think it's one of the best WrestleMania posters that we have. I love the block look for the logo. I love all three people featured in this poster. We have Austin, Tyson, and Michaels, who were all involved in the main event. And overall, it's just a really nice poster to look at. We got the black background with the red logo and the three featured here. So I think this might be our first GOAT poster. Allow me to take a moment to let you know that I am now a WWE Shop affiliate. If you plan on making any WWE Shop purchases, doing so using my affiliate link in the description of this video would be a great help in the growth of this channel. I'm currently building an awesome new office to host this channel on, and every little bit helps. Thank you so much for your support. Now, let's get back to the video. On to WrestleMania 15, and unfortunately I'm not a big fan of this one. It's a major step back compared to 14. The overall look of it is not great. It's not pleasing to the eye. It's a bright red background, and the faces on the image kind of blend into that red. And the contrast with the yellow XV and the WrestleMania logo, it's not really nice to look at. I do like most of who's featured on it, but overall, just not a fan. This one's going to go in bad for me. Again, I think that might be a hot take. I know that there are a lot of people that like WrestleMania 15's poster, but it's just not for me. All right, WrestleMania 2000. So this is the big pay-per-view that featured all four McMahons in each corner of a specific wrestler. We had Triple H, we had The Rock, Mick Foley, and Big Show, and each one had a McMahon in their corner. I do like the poster. I know it's resemblant of the WrestleMania 2000 video game, but I love that futuristic look that they were going for in the 2000s with the green mixed in with the white and black. And overall, it's just really nice to look at. I'm going to put this in good. Again, I like the aesthetic. I don't think it's as pleasing to the eye as a WrestleMania 4 was, and it's nowhere near GOAT status, but I think it's rightfully placed in good. Looking at my good, I'm pretty happy with what I have here so far. I don't think I'd move anything right now. I think they're on par with each other and just under the great status. WrestleMania 17 now. This is another big one. This is the big one that featured Austin and The Rock in the main event. And obviously you got a great pay-per-view that a lot of people remember, especially those who grew up as a teenager at this point. This is one of the big ones for us. It's between great and GOAT. I don't know if I want to place it at GOAT next to 14. It's not as nice to look at as 14, but it's a bit nicer than WrestleMania 4. It's on the fence. It's between great and GOAT. For now, I'm going to put it at great, but I don't know. I really like it. I think it might go to GOAT. Let's leave it there for now and revisit that after. All right, WrestleMania 18. So this was the one in Toronto. We had Icon versus Icon, Rock and Hogan. We had one of my personal favorites with Stone Cold Steve Austin taking on Scott Hall. But overall, the poster, it features Rock and Hogan We get the icon versus icon at the top, the logo at the bottom. It's okay. I feel like they could have done more with this one. I want to put it on average for now. I mean, I love the pay-per-view. I love the matches that were in there. Just not the greatest poster for me. All right, WrestleMania 19. So this is the one that follows. And I think this is the start of a trend that they were getting into at the time, where they just slapped a whole bunch of wrestlers onto the poster and just called it a day. They have a callback to where the pay-per-view is in for that city. And then we have the logo at the bottom. And this is kind of what they went for quite a while, actually. Not the biggest fan of it, to be honest. It's pretty mid. I don't think it's bad in the sense of WrestleMania 15, 12, and 6. I'd put it at average. I think that for the most part, it's not making my eyes bleed. So I guess that's the biggest thing I can get out of it. But I'm not a big fan of them just slapping 20 wrestlers onto a poster and calling it a day. So it's going to stick an average. Then we have WrestleMania 20, the nice big logo. We get the double X's for the Roman numerals of 20. I mean, it's simple. It's a basic poster with the logo. I'm going to go average, I guess. I don't like it as much as WrestleMania 10 and 13, so I think average is a good place. Next up, we have WrestleMania 21 in Hollywood, and here we have a nice skyline view of Hollywood, as well as the logo at the top. Very simplistic, very basic, but I like it better than 20, so I'm going to put this at good. I'm actually a pretty big fan of it. Not enough to put it at great yet, but good is a good place for it. All right, WrestleMania 22, and this is a nice callback to having just two wrestlers on. We have a nice action shot with Cena. And you know what? They put the logo in the corner instead of centering it at the bottom. It's okay. It's between good and average for me. I think I like it more than WrestleMania 7. I'm going to put it at good. I might change that to average, though. Next up, we have WrestleMania 23, and although they slapped a whole bunch of wrestlers on again, here we have a preview of some of the big matches coming up. I like the appeal to it. It kind of gives off what we can expect from this pay-per-view. I know that we have the whole Donald Trump, Vince McMahon feud going on here. Overall, the aesthetic looks pretty nice. I like that we get that little preview of what we can expect. Overall, I'm a pretty big fan of this. I think I'm going to put it in good for now. I keep saying for now, but I've left everything where I put it. But again, I don't see any of these good moving into great. Maybe the exception would be WrestleMania 1. I am a big fan of the Hogan Mr. T Classic image. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna put it that in great for now. We'll see how that stands. All right, WrestleMania 24. This is the big one that features Big Show and Floyd Mayweather. Again, bunch of people slapped on, but we do get, again, that preview. We got the big triple threat match with John Cena. We got the big Undertaker match, and then, of course, Show and Mayweather. It's a very simplistic approach to how you would build a poster. You got the nice black background with the shine down the middle. The big matches are featured. No complaints here. We'll go average. It is still pretty appealing. I'm going to leave it at average. All right, next up is WrestleMania 25, and this is the big quarter-century mark. I'm okay with this design, to be honest. I like how we have quite a lot of wrestlers featured, but they're all in a circular pattern around the logo with the star. Kind of digging this one, to be honest. I'm going to put this at good. I do like it a lot. It's bordering great, but not quite there. Yeah, I think good's the proper place to put that. Following that, we got WrestleMania 26 with John Cena front and center. I do like how the images look on this one, and I like the orange coloring around the logo. Is it great? Not really, but it's definitely not average, so I'm going to put that at good. All right, WrestleMania 27, and again, this might be a hot take. I'm not a fan of this one. There's so much going on. The images that they used of the wrestlers look a little weird, especially Taker's picture. Uh, the Rock looking like a TV host, looking like he's ready to host Wheel of Fortune. It's not it. It's not it at all. Not a fan. I don't like the coloring either. And for me, it's just the Rock in the corner pointing at you. It throws me off all the time. It's between bad and trash. Uh, it might be trash. I don't like it at all. All right, next up we have WrestleMania 28, where the once in a lifetime match that happened twice in a lifetime happened, but we didn't know it at the time yet, featuring John Cena and The Rock. And I'm going to be honest, I really, really like this poster. I just find that the aesthetic is really pleasing to the eye. We have John Cena going face to face with The Rock in this poster. It gives off that King Kong versus Godzilla approach, and I just love the color scheme to it. It just has so much going for it. I don't think it's GOAT just yet. I definitely think it's great, though. It stands out above the ones that I put in good. So I think it's great. And with that, I think WrestleMania 29's poster follows it as well. I think that, again, that kind of appeal to the John Cena Rock match faded when we knew it was happening twice in a row. But I don't think that should depict how we look at the poster, right? So is it as good as WrestleMania 28, though? I don't know. I do like how we have the building in the front and center. The logo looks kind of weird, though. I don't like how the logo wraps around the building. Yeah, this one's going to go in good. I don't like it nearly as much as 28, but it's still not bad. I'm not going to say it's average either. All right, we've made it all the way to the 30th WrestleMania, WrestleMania XXX. We've got the nice purple background. I'm a huge fan of that purple background with the gold around the logo. And yeah, it's a bunch of wrestlers just plastered on the poster. I think what saves it is the color scheme. I'm really a big fan of purple. So I think that saves it from being bad, but I don't think it's good either. I'm not going to say that I'd put it in good or great just for the color of the background. So I'm going to put this in average. Again, not a fan of just sticking a whole bunch of wrestlers onto the poster and just calling it a day. But I think the purple does save it a little bit from being bad. All right, then we have WrestleMania 31. And I know a lot of people didn't like a lot of what happened in WrestleMania 31. I know that the big Triple H Sting match rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But if we're just looking at the poster, I have to say it's great. I really like the lineup of the side profiles of each wrestler, just looking towards the camera, and the red background with the logo at the bottom. I just think it looks really nice. I have no complaints about it. And I also like the little play button that they put in the center of the WrestleMania logo. I don't know if I'm going to put it in GOAT. WrestleMania 14 and 17 just have that special look to it. But then again, WrestleMania 31 does have that look to it as well. Oh, it might be GOAT. But if that's GOAT, then I have to put that one there too. No, it's going to stay in great for now. All right, then we have WrestleMania 32, a very simplistic approach to it. I do appreciate that. It features Triple H as the champion with Roman Reigns as the challenger. Again, not too many people were pleased about that, but we're looking at the poster itself. Overall, I think it's just average. There's not much going on. It doesn't feel special to me for a WrestleMania poster. I think it's just going to go in average. Next up is WrestleMania 33. And again, not particularly a fan of this. I really don't like the pattern and the design. It feels like they just took stock images of each wrestler, plastered it onto the cover, stuck the logo into the top right corner, and said, that's our poster for this year. Not a big fan of it. It's going to go in bad. And then I guess you could say the same for WrestleMania 34. I love the logo with the fleur de lis. I know it's in New Orleans and they were going for that aesthetic, but it's just a bunch of faces on the poster. It's just showing me that there's going to be a whole lot of people there, and I don't really know what to expect from it. So that's going to go in bad too. And then WrestleMania 35, it's just a reoccurring theme where it's put a whole bunch of faces on there, and that's our poster. It's not as bad as the previous two. I think it's average for this one. The color scheme's all right. It's not good. It's not bad either. All right, WrestleMania 36, and they wanted to go with this pirate theme. And then they had, on top of that, they had The Weeknd for the music. So it was kind of like that poppy feel with the music and then the pirate aesthetic. It just didn't match whatsoever. Again, this is just not really that great of a poster. I don't know. Maybe there's some Jack Sparrow fans out there and they're pleased with the pirate theme that they were going with. But for me, it's not that great. Which leads me into the next WrestleMania. Again, pirate theme. They won 2 years in a row. For me, it's just not that great of a poster. I have to put it in bad as well. All right, we have WrestleMania 38. And this one, I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of the matchup per se, but the way that the poster looks, I'm kind of a fan of it. I think it's along the lines of the John Cena, The Rock poster that I placed here. I think it's on the same level. So I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's average. Probably in between good and average. But if I'm comparing the one with Roman Reigns and Triple H to Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, this one kind of fits the poster better than just that front profile image of them. Yeah, I'm going to have to put this one in good. All right, we're going into the final three with WrestleMania 39. And for me, I actually really like this one. It might even go into great. I'm a big fan of that movie poster aesthetic where it's kind of building up a cinema quality to it. We got Reigns and Rhodes at the top for the undisputed title. And then we have just a whole bunch of people at the bottom there on the red carpet. We have the movie banner here for the theater. For me, it's a really nice look. They had a theme going. It fit. It looks really nice. And overall, I'm just a big fan of this one. This one's going to go in great. WrestleMania 40 or WrestleMania XL features the tag team match of night one with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes going head to head with Roman Reigns and The Rock. And overall, it's not bad. I would say it's good. Again, I'm a big fan of when they put the wrestlers of that main event going face to face. It gives off that nice vibe to it. We got the green background with the Bell WrestleMania logo. I do like this poster. I think it's good. I'm not going to put it on the level of WrestleMania 39. I don't think it's quite there, but it's pretty good. And finally, that brings us to WrestleMania 41, this year's WrestleMania. And I like the casino vibe that they have going with the logo and the cards at the top. Again, it falls into that category of a bunch of wrestlers on the poster. It's average, bordering good. I have to say the logo kind of saves it from being bad, but is it enough to bring it to good? I don't know. I think that overall average is probably the best compliment you could give it just for that logo alone. Otherwise, it's a bunch of wrestlers. So yeah, that's pretty much where I am going to leave it. I don't think that anything that I have in good would go into great. Average looks all right. Nothing I would put in bad from this bunch. And yeah, I'm good with what I put in trash. WrestleMania 5 and oh boy, what is The Rock doing here? That's a shame. All right, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm pretty happy with how I ranked everything. Do let me know in the comments, though, if you don't agree with anything that you see here. I'm curious to know if you have either of these two in trash. But once again, this is one of many videos of this style that I'll be putting out over the next couple of weeks. This will be like this channel's Road to WrestleMania, where we focus on WrestleMania style content. And I have plenty more tier maker style videos coming out. And it'll feature things that will involve title matches, will involve main events. So be on the lookout for that and make sure that you have that bell clicked off to receive the notification. Otherwise, you might miss it. And that does it for this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me on each WrestleMania poster, or if there was one that you didn't like so much or you liked more than I did. If you liked this video, click like, and if you really liked it, subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell to receive all notifications on future videos. As always, this is Sean reminding you to be kind to one another and stay safe.